Welcome into the season preview for Carlow men's basketball. Sean Meyers joined by the one and only Tim Keefer. Quite literally, the one and only. He is the only coach in program history, 10 years now, a decade. It's unbelievable. How's everything going with you?
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable I'm still alive. Or unbelievable I'm still here.
Every day I know you appreciate.
Every day I appreciate.
Well, let's talk first about how last season's gone for your team. I know it was a struggle. You won just one game. What did you think were the biggest factors in that?
Well, you need to coach better, number one. We need to be a little bit tougher. We play a lot of freshmen. As you know, anytime on the court we had 5 freshmen. We played probably one of the toughest schedules in the nation. So if it was going back to football, we were like a 118 playing a 6A schedule. So, but I feel I've always done that wherever I coach, that you're under adverse conditions. If you can get through that, you can get through other adverse conditions in life. So that's what I'm trying to teach you.
Well, you talked about all the freshmen who saw playing time. I would imagine that will be part of this answer. What were the positives that you took?
They're all back. So we have guys that are experienced, where last year we didn't have a whole lot of experience. We brought in some good freshmen coming in, so I'm looking forward to that.
Let's talk about the biggest areas of focus through the offseason. What did you really try to dwell into these players' minds?
We tried to get stronger. I think our guys are a lot bigger than they were last year. Okay, we need to focus again on defense, being in better shape, being able to run for 40 minutes. I think we're going to be able to do that this year a little bit better.
The inaugural campaign in the AMCC as a member of the NCAA is forthcoming. I know there's a lot of excitement for all the teams about that transition. What do you think are going to be some of the biggest changes?
Well, we played some of those teams in the past, like La Roche, Mount Aloysius. We played Pitt, Greensburg, so we know a little bit about how they perform. It's going to be a little bit different on a travel. We won't have to drive 7 hours on a bus, get up and play a game. So I think that's going to help us a little bit. So I'm excited doing that. Some of the kids that we play, the kids went to school and competed against each other, so that we know a little bit more about those things. I know the coaches well, so I'm looking forward to it.
I know that it's probably going to help recruiting as well, that you don't have to worry about some of those long trips, 5, 6, 7 hours away. How does it change things?
I don't know. Some kids I like that. I like to travel. I like going to Kentucky, Indiana. We went to Miami. We did a lot of different things. We try to give the kids a great experience, total college experience. So, we're going to still start doing some of those things after this year. So we're in this USCA also, so we're playing some of those teams. We are going to Virginia Beach this year and playing down there. So I'm looking forward to that, letting the kids get some experience outside of college.
Let's talk about some of the guys who moved on. I think really important pieces for this program. Hunter DeStefano, of course, and David Clary. What are you most going to miss about them?
David was just back this week. It's pretty cool. He's a counselor now with young kids, and David never said more than 3 words on a whole day. And he talked to the kids about all the things, getting ready, getting your grades, and we explained to kids that they don't ask how many rebounds you get or points. They want to know what your GPA was, what your work experiences were, your volunteer on campus. So he did a great job. Hunter's a nurse. He's full-time. He's doing things. He stopped at a football game this year. I got to see him in that. He's doing tremendous. We're going to miss their leadership. And I always knew there was someone that had my back watching where the kids were. You can only do so much on the court. You need someone that's in the locker room and on campus when I'm not around. And both those guys did that for us. So we miss that aspect of it.
So they move on, but a lot of guys are back. Who are the players, the returners that you're most going to lean upon?
Well, Nehemiah Brazil, who's a captain in Raleigh Conforti. Raleigh's coming off a knee injury, so I think he's going. He's been pretty good. He got released to do some work. He's not doing contact work, so once he gets in, that will help us. Byron Gaskins is back. Isaiah's back. So we have a lot of guys that played last year. So before we didn't have any Letterman returning. Now we have a lot.
I know you mentioned early on that you expect you're going to have some good freshmen.
Yes.
Who are those guys, and what are the realistic expectations for the group?
Well, I don't like to single anybody out. There's new guys in there. They're all contributing and everything like that. So I don't want to say pinpoint one guy. They're all doing a great job in that. So on our roster, you'll be able to see the freshmen. But they're doing a great job, all of them.
Well, let's talk about the goals you have. New conference, new year altogether. What do you want this team to accomplish?
Win games. Last year, the teams that we played from the AMCC, we competed with them. I think we lost by maybe 10 points and 11 points. So we're there. So we want to compete and then we want to win. So with the USCA, we'd like to make the playoffs in that this year and qualify. We don't qualify for the new conference yet because we're on probation for that. So we want to qualify for the USCA playoffs.
I know that you're familiar with some of the teams already in the AMCC. How do you look at the landscape and evaluate it?
Tough teams, tough. Look, the Roches, I think they've won it every year since I can remember. Penn State Barron, Pitt Greensburg, Mount Aloysius, Penn State Altoona. I mean, I don't know the teams, Pitt Bradford, them, I haven't seen them play. But the other ones, I've known the coaches a while. We got to be prepared, just like we were in the NAIA.
What do you like about the non-conference this year?
It's going to be tough because some teams, we go to Buffalo, like I said, we go down to Virginia Beach, so some of those teams, a lot of those teams, they have experienced veterans or they have a lot of transfers. That'll be the biggest difference, I think. When we were in that NAIA, you had a lot of transfers. You maybe had a 25-year-old freshman, would come in. So I think, sometimes it was boys to men. We were the boys, they were the men. So I think it's going to be more competitive in that aspect.
I know Dave Gordon was such a great assistant for many years. He's busy doing his own thing, guiding the women's team. So with him not really going to be there on a full-time basis, you lean probably on your other assistants that you have back. What do they bring to the table?
Well, it's funny you say that because we have DeAndre Gordon, Dave's son's helping us this year. So that's his better half.
You always have to have a Gordon on staff, right?
We got a Gordon son. Matt Janik, of course, is doing a great job. He coached at Marist and Robert Morris. And Jake St. George, who played for us, is doing a tremendous job. He's our offensive coordinator. DeAndre's our basketball operations guy. So he's directly doing everything, taking care of stuff on the road now. So we're strong. We have a strong staff.
I see you in the fall coaching football. I see you in the spring with track and field. Obviously, all winter long, you're doing basketball here.
I think I'd find I'd be able to do something right.
Well, what it tells me is you love coaching, regardless of sport. But what do you like so much about coaching?
Well, I like helping kids, getting them to reach their full potential. And again, you might not win a game, but if you are trying and you reach your full potential, then we did our job. That's what I'm trying to get the kids. The sports is just this much of their whole life. I'm trying to get them ready for everything. That's why we play tough games in that, because the real world, man, it's tough out there.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for doing this again. I always enjoy talking to you. Good luck for another season.
Hope we have another 10 years.
Absolutely. That is Tim
Thanks,
Keefer,
Sean.
the head coach for Carlow, here on the season preview. We continue with the season preview, looking at Carlow University's men's basketball campaign. I'm Sean Meyers, now joined by a newcomer to the program, a sophomore, Galen Waters. First off, thanks for doing this. I know first year with Carlow. How's everything going with you?
Everything's going good. Can't complain.
Well, I know there's a lot of excitement heading into another season. This will be your first on the court for Carlow after you transferred from Huntington College. Let's talk about your strengths as a player. What do you think you do best?
I think my best ability is being able to just put the ball in the hoop and facilitate for my teammates.
I know that those are good offensive qualities that you have. What do you think your role might be with the Celtics this year?
My role, I feel like whatever coach asks me to do, I can do it to the best of my ability. Just whatever I can do to get a win.
So how has the transition gone, meeting the new guys, playing with guys that you've never played with before up until probably a few weeks ago?
At first, started off a little rough, but as we start hanging out with each other off the court, the transition been smoothest.
I know you have a year of college hoops under your belt, but it's new here. So who are some of the guys, maybe the upperclassmen, who've helped you with the transition to Pittsburgh?
Really, it's been Nehemiah Brazil, Riley, and Chance. They really helped me out, just understanding the Carlow culture.
Kind of along those same lines, who do you think will be the leaders on the team?
I just feel like the leaders, it can go any day, for real. It just depends on the given day.
Well, let's talk about what brought you to Carlow. You're from Texas. You played collegiately in Alabama. Now you're here in Western Pennsylvania. What brought you here?
Really, it was just basketball mainly, but just being in Pittsburgh, it's best for my major to just network with everybody. It's just a small city, well, a big city, but I can get everywhere really.
Well, let's ask you about this city in particular. What do you like most about Pittsburgh?
I just like all the different activities and events I can go to. I can never be bored in the city of Pittsburgh.
Now, I'll check back maybe in a couple months. Are you gonna be good with winter?
We gotta see.
That's gonna be a big change, certainly. Yeah. What goals have you set, and what goals has the team set?
Individually, I set a goal for myself to at least make one of the all-conference teams, and as a team, main goal is just to win out, just win games.
Let's talk about your head coach, Tim Keefer. What are his best qualities?
His best qualities, he's a great guy. Love him. On the court, he wants everything done. He cares about the little details. Just wants everything done the right way.
Lastly, what do you love most about the sport of basketball?
I just love putting the ball in the hoop.
Well, you do that enough, there'll be a lot of people here that love you. Thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it, and good luck in your first season with Carlow.
Thanks for having me.
That's Galen Waters, a sophomore for the Celtics here on the season preview. And we roll along here on the season preview for Carlow University men's basketball. Sean Meyers now joined by a freshman, Gavin McLain, a newcomer to Carlow by way of Georgia. So first off, how's everything going with the transition to a new city?
It's pretty good. There's a lot more stuff to do than there is in Georgia. Come from a very small town, not very much to do.
I would imagine this is a big transition, both in terms of basketball and culturally. Is there any guys that have really helped you with that transition?
Honestly, everyone on that team, they're super cool. I love them all. Everyone's been nice to me, made me feel like I'm fitting in.
I talk to coaches that always come back to the fact that you can't teach height, you can't teach size. You have that,
right.
Certainly. How is that maybe a strength, and how do you use it to your advantage?
Well, honestly, pretty good at blocking shots. I'm just tall.
Well, you said you're good at blocking shots. What do you anticipate for your role this season? Are you going to be a guy that's primarily defending the paint?
Primarily, yeah. Maybe I'll get a few jumpers in, but mostly blocking shots, making sure no one comes in the paint.
So you transitioned from playing at the high school level to now getting ready for a college season. What was your area of focus to get prepared for this?
Mostly trying to get my speed and endurance up, because I'm pretty slow for my size. I mean, everyone's slow at my size, but trying to get faster, be a little bit more agile, so I'm not like just contained in the paint. I can actually guard the perimeter as well, but I'm slowly getting there.
To this point, going through all the training and the work that you and your teammates have done, what do you think is going to be the best style of play for this team?
For this team, honestly, pick and rolls. Because I give a mean pick, and every time I roll, 9 times out of 10, I'm open, or the person who's got the ball is open.
Who do you think are some of the leaders on this team?
Leaders? I'd say Byron, Riley, and I think those are leaders.
Yeah, Conforti has been a great player throughout his career, hoping that he's going to be back to full strength sooner rather than later. Let's talk about your decision to come here. You mentioned that you came by way of Georgia, so it's a bit of a hike. What led you to Carlow?
Well, I honestly wasn't even thinking it was a possibility for me to come up this high in the States, but they gave me a call one day asking to look into the school. And I was like, sounds nice. Might as well give it a try. So far, I'm loving it.
And obviously, Coach Keefer was a big part of you coming here as well. What do you like most about him?
Well, for starters, he's just a really good guy. Super, super nice guy. He's a good coach. He knows exactly what to put us through to get us ready for the season. I think that's a good trait.
Fill in the blank. This will be a successful season if
we play as a team.
Lastly, I know you're focused on basketball, but coming to Pittsburgh as well, what is the best part of this, and what are you still looking forward to exploring throughout your time here?
The city. Like I said, I came from a farm town in the sticks, not a lot of anything, but I actually love the city. I love the people and how everything's close by. I can walk to anything. I enjoy being around so many people and things to do.
Well, glad it's going well for you. Welcome to Pittsburgh, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the hardwood this season.
Sir.
That is freshman Gavin McLain here on the season preview for Carlow men's basketball.